Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part number 2 of the series where we are learning about bug bounty hunting. Now, before continuing with this video, I would like to do a little bit of housekeeping. So, in previous video, we we were introduced to a platform called hackerone.com. We sign up for an account, and after logging in, we were presented with this dashboard right here. And we jumped right into the section called Getting Started. We bookmarked 5 programs on the programs directory, uploaded 5 items on Hacktivity, and after that, we worked towards earning 26 points on Hacker 101 CTF platform. Now, in previous video, I have told you that I'm going to tell you what happens after you complete all those steps to get started. So as you can see, 26 points are equal to 1 stage. Every time you're successful in getting 26 points, the counter resets and gives you an invitation. As you can see, I have solved several of those flags and I managed to land into 3 invitations, and in my balance there are 2 points right now. And if I will keep on solving those flags, I will keep on getting those points higher and higher until I reach 26, and it will give me another invitation right here. Now, when I get back to my dashboard, I see a notification under Pending Invitations tab. When I click into it, it tells me that these companies or these programs have invited me to their bug bounty hunting program. When we click on View Invitation, it says you have been invited to a private program for this company. Please do not discuss the program publicly. So that's why I am required to blur the names and the details of these programs. So HackerOne is the best platform to learn capture the flag thing, and also it grants you several points to make you eligible for the invitations. Now, as I have said in the previous video, that you cannot get started with this platform until you prove yourself to be worthy enough. So this is something what I meant. You keep getting the points, and against that you can keep getting the invitations. So next on, we are going to talk about the programs that are publicly available. You can go ahead and look into your directory where you will be able to look into the programs that are available for everyone. Well, there are a few companies that are not going to pay you enough money. So it's up to you whether you want to get started with them or not. So for example, we are going to look into this company called Coinspot. The program launched on April 2021. They're paying you $10,000 for a very critical vulnerability to $250 for a very low level report. So then you ask what makes it critical and what makes it low. So as per their explanation, they say our rewards are based on severity per CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring Standard. Let's go and look what CVSS means. The Common Vulnerability Scoring System is a free and open industry standard for assessing the severity of computer security vulnerabilities. You can go ahead and look into it. What does it mean? And to be honest, if you are not familiar with any of those things over here, you just go ahead and search in Google right away. It's going to help you a lot in understanding what we are dealing with right here. So their policy says Coinspot looks forward to working with the security community to find security vulnerabilities in order to keep our business and customers safe. Program rule states that please provide detailed reports with reproducible steps. If the report is not detailed enough to reproduce the issue, the issue will not be eligible for reward. I think this is self-explanatory. You have to write good enough report. And there's bunch of different things that are under scope and things that are out of scope, such as clickjacking, man in the middle, CSRF, CSV injection. So when you look into those factors, and if you're not familiar with any of those terms, what is clickjacking, what is CSRF, what is man in the middle attack, what is CSV injection, this gives you an inspiration to learn further. So to give you an introduction to this platform doesn't mean that you will start making money right away. But the point was to make you aware enough so you can look into further things more deeply. Now, getting into the bounty hunting program of just one company gives you several terms that might be very new to you. If you can understand those terms, it's really good for you. But if you don't, that means you have to look into those things. So clickjacking on pages, if I search on clickjacking, it means it's an attack that tricks a user into clicking a website element which is invisible or disguised as another element. If we look into CSRF, cross-site request forgery, also known as XSRF, CSRF, or session writing, is an attack vector that tricks a web browser into executing an unwanted action in an application to which a user is logged in. A successful CSRF attack can be devastating for both the business and user. Man in the middle. A man in the middle attack is a general term for when a predator positions himself in a conversation between a user and an application, either to eavesdrop or to impersonate one of the parties, making it appear as if a normal exchange of information is underway. Next up, CSV injection, then missing best practices in SSL TLS configurations. You can go ahead and look into those things if you're not familiar. That gives you a pretty much good chance to keep updated yourself with the information that you're not familiar with before. Anyhow, getting back to our scope. So the next step in bounty hunting is writing a very good report. And luckily, HackerOne.com comes with a feature that allows you to select certain elements of reports itself. Now, most of the time when you are submitting a report, you have to consider each and every detail, as it says right here. Please provide detailed reports with reproducible steps. If the report is not detailed enough to reproduce the issue will not be eligible for a reward. That means even if you have found a decent vulnerability, a decent bug in an application, and your report was not up to the professional level or to the level where everyone can understand it clearly, you won't be eligible for a reward. So if you click on submit report, you're going to find that HackerOne gives you a pretty decent feature where you do not have to worry about looking into each and everything by yourself. So you will be provided with all kind of features that are required to write a very good report. So it says you're about to submit a report. Please provide as much information as possible about the potential issue you have discovered. The more information you provide, the quicker they will be able to validate the issue. If you haven't yet, please remember to review our security page. So it says that select for what program you are going to submit a report, what kind of vulnerability you have found. Now there are like a bunch of different things. Now it says what kind of, select the types of potential issue you have discovered. Let's suppose we have found a way to brute force into the login system. Now, was it very hard for you to brute force into the system, or was it like done within few hours? If you have a decent dictionary, you can do it within few hours. But if your dictionary is not up to the mark, it can go up to from several days to infinity. It depends on the size of your dictionary. But if you're not sure what to write over here, anyways, it's an optional thing. So you don't have to worry about it very much. But if you were able to get into the system pretty much quickly, then you might have to select it on high because it can give access to anyone in this whole world to get into that system. If you can get into the system, pretty much everyone else also can. Then you have to select what kind of vector did you use. Were you able to be physically available, or was it local? That means you were already in the system. But if you're not sure about whatever these terminologies mean, you can always click on this question mark here and it says full details about what kind of method that you have used. So if we were able to do it remotely, I'm going to select network, scope, change or unchanged, attack complexity was low or high, privileges required, integrity, user interaction, availability. So once you have selected, you have to move on to proof of concept and you have to write all those steps required to reproduce that issue. You can record a demo with your screen recorder and submit it. Then you have to review, and here is a button called submit review. It's not enabled because we haven't filled all the information. But once we are done filling up this report, it's going to get submitted. And once our report proves itself to be worthy enough, we will be eligible to get bounty reward. But if your report is completely out of scope, you might not get any kind of response from this company or any other company, in fact, just because you performed something that was already disclosed or was out of scope. Let's suppose you have submitted a report where you have performed man in the middle attack and you submitted a full report that, okay, I have done this man in the middle attack by doing this and that was the first step, and this is how I get into this system. Well, it says already here that man in the middle attack is completely out of scope, so don't expect anything to be paid on this. But in case if you were able to perform man in the middle with something exceptionally new, then probably if you think that your report is worth enough to be submitted, you can go ahead and submit it anyways. Now moving on to another important part of this video. If you're not interested in making money, but you're here just to make a name for yourself so you can land a decent job or you can be able to tell stories about it, you can definitely go ahead and start submitting reports because it's not going to give you an opportunity to make extra money, but it's going to make your name and reputation pretty much prominent into penetration testing world. Now, as you can see, this program does pay you money, but it also rates you based on your contribution. If you are going to look into any of those profiles, you're going to find out the complete public records of this person, what they have achieved, what are their status, and what are their reputation. So that's why I wanted to make this video. One way or another, you will be rewarded with positive results. Now, if we get back to our dashboard, you have several other tabs over here. The programs that you are working with, how many programs have, after you submitted the report, they went into retesting, how many hackers you're following, and how many invitations are pending for you to join. There is a job board over here for you to look into employment opportunities available with certain companies, like right here. So overall, if you are going to learn penetration testing and ethical hacking just for the reason where you are able to do the bug bounty hunting and land a decent job, I think this platform is going to prove itself very handy to you. And that was the point of making this video, not just to make you aware of another option available for you, but also the benefits of being into this industry itself. I hope this video gave you some worthwhile information, and if it does, please share this video with the people who are interested in learning penetration testing and ethical hacking. And I hope I have covered everything important and haven't left anything. But in case if I did, please go ahead and let me know so I can explain it to you further with some more details. Anyways, I think that's enough for this session. Keep learning, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Goodbye.